Hello, folks. As you can see, I'm over here. Wait a minute. I'm gonna put myself down here in the bottom corner, in the little backup corner.
Shuffle the deck.
Yeah, shuffling the deck. Because to begin the show tonight, before we do any intros or jokey or funny thing, as we all know, we lost someone very special and dear to us in the community recently, Mr. Rick Halber. I posted something in Coast to Coast Drone earlier. I had purchased a balloon, and I kind of said my goodbyes to Rick, and I let the balloon go and kind of let him fly away and say goodbye that way.
I saw that.
So to start the show tonight, we're going to have a moment of silence, and I have one more brief announcement, and then we'll start the show rolling. So for now, let's have a moment of silence for Rick. Yeah, he's something special, something very important for the community. And I said something today when I did my live stream, something I'm going to try to, what is it? WWRD. What would Rick do? That's the way I'm going to try to do things. Because I know we all get stressed in the drone community, but I love everybody in the drone community. Anybody that loves to pick up sticks, put them in their hand and fly, they know the same thing I do. It gives us release. And Rick just loved watching and sharing and doing all that. Rick, we love you, big guy. Gonna miss you a lot. One other thing before I start the show rolling, I want to say happy anniversary to my wife. I love you very much, and thank you for putting up for my bullshit all these years. With that being said, okay, and now I will be quiet and let you meet Mr. Kelly Shores and turn the show over to John Cuppi for FPV ERRDAY.
Welcome to FPV ERRDAY, where we do FPV ERRDAY once a month, and I always have to do that, Bill. I always have to do that. But anyway, so tonight we're going to be talking about some of our greatest saves, possible near misses. That's going to be really interesting.
Hey, it's Kelly here. I wanted to show a quick video.
Pull it back out.
What?
Teaser.
There's a teaser.
That was the greatest save.
That was a save video.
So we got some good saves. We will talk a little bit about some cool new models that are out there as well that Kelly's been flying. And, of course, we'll talk a little bit about the DJI FPV and all that. So it's going to be a good show.
And by the way, I put the green canopy on for St. Paddy's Day, and also, Bill, I just wanted to say the title. I don't know who put the title in there, but shouldn't it be "Luck O' the Irish"?
It probably should be.
Luck O' the Irish.
I don't have any Irish blood. I didn't want to offend anybody, so I wanted to be grammatically correct. So, well, you're not really Irish. You shouldn't have done it that way. So, and honestly, I didn't think about it. I just typed in "Luck of the Irish."
Yeah. Well,
so it could have been that way.
Luck of the Irish.
Luck of the Irish. Ethan, lucky to be here with us.
So, without further ado, and you all will get the idea of what we're here to discuss, let me share this video
Of a nearly catastrophic crash that I had this summer while flying over a lake. My DJI Phantom 2 is equipped with a Zenmuse gimbal, an immersion RC transmitter, and of course I had a GoPro Hero 3 Black Edition Plus on it at the time. So I think I estimated that to be a little over $2,000 worth of gear with all said and done. And of course it's not waterproof, so you don't want to put it in the water. I took off, flying over a lake, getting some kids canoeing, having a good time, really beautiful day, lots of cool footage. And what happened is I basically forgot about my time and let the battery run for way too long, and it started to land itself. I usually set a timer on my phone to go off after about 12 minutes. With the Phantom 2, I figure that's pretty safe. This time I didn't, and some kids came along and wanted to check out my Fat Shark goggles and see what the Phantom was doing. I was having a great time showing them, and I totally forgot about the time. So note to yourself, don't let that happen. As you probably know, the Phantom 2, if you lose power on the transmitter, it will try to return to you. However, in this case, I didn't lose power on the transmitter. It just ran for too long and the battery went out. And I believe what happens is if the battery gets too low, it tries to land itself gently and it doesn't give you any throttle. It really just starts to put itself down. So you can see it's starting to go down. It's starting to want to land itself. A lot of prop wash on the water because it was getting closer and closer. I'm estimating it was probably less than 3 feet, maybe even less than 2 feet in a couple of these shots. And it was way across the lake. And I was totally disoriented. Someone else was wearing the goggles. I didn't think to put them on. And I kept trying to land on this small island because I could see it was near that island, but I couldn't judge the distance to it. And you can kind of see the island go by a couple times in the footage.
Oh, frustrating.
So I started spinning around like crazy, trying to figure out what my orientation was as far as left, right, forward, backwards. And finally figured that out. And when I did, I jammed the stick hard right and went straight towards the shore. And you can see as it hits the shore, it barely clears the edge of the water, lands in a bush. The battery pops out, killing the engines, which was fantastic, so they don't sit there and strain. And then it just sat there, and I went and got it. Turns out very minimal damage to one prop. I mean, it was probably still usable. I went ahead and replaced it anyway. But it was a fantastically good teaching experience for me as far as keeping track of my battery life and definitely keeping myself oriented when I'm over the water. Hope everyone else has as good of an experience with their first crash as I did. I know sometimes these things can be pretty terrible and definitely very costly, but keep practicing, be safe, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks.
Yeah. That was definitely... That was the
short,
closest. Check
your shorts moment.
Yeah, it was that, and that was 5 to 6 years ago. That was a Phantom 2 with a GoPro Hero 3 and my own little immersion RC setup I had put on it because they didn't have real time video on the Phantom 2. I don't think.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was incredible, man.
All right. Share your greatest saves, gentlemen.
I never uploaded the video of mine, but it was like probably my 6th or 7th flight with a Mavic Pro, and I was going to catch the sunset over the back of my house. So I pop it up. And remember, this is when the Mavic Pro was out in 2017. I had an Android phone, and they had just released, I think, Android 7. So it was kind of wonky. Your phone would just reboot with the Go4 app occasionally. So I send the drone up, and I'm about 100 feet up above the house, and I'm looking at the sunset. I'm just, wow, it's really cool. All of a sudden, the drone just darts off backwards, heads east, like towards my neighbor's house, and then there's a huge, span of trees or whatever that I wasn't even sure I was gonna. I'm trying to get the drone back. Then the app resets, and the drone's just flying off. I don't know where the hell it's going. And meanwhile, I'm rebooting the phone, trying to get the phone to reboot, get the app up. I'm looking at the controls, and I can tell it's flying and stuff, but I couldn't see anything. I'm blind. So it felt like an eternity. Like Kelly, it probably felt like an eternity when you had that happening, even though you could see. I was like, oh my wife comes out. She's like, what's going on? I was like, leave me alone. I'm about to lose my drone.
It's horrible feeling, right? Your heart's just sinking.
Awful. Yeah, it's like, oh my God, there goes $1,200, basically. And then am I gonna like hit the neighbor's dog or what's gonna happen? And so a couple minutes later, I get the app back up, and then I resume. I get connectivity back, and then it went into ADDI mode for some reason, and I think it's because I didn't calibrate the compass. It's my suspicion that I didn't calibrate the compass, and it just lost its way. But I got to watch the log later, right? Because you can I had all the video. It just cleared those trees I was telling you guys about. I mean, like skimmed over.
And there's no backward sensor on that one, right?
No backward. It was just down and forward. Yeah, but it was, so it just skims over the trees. And then it went like a quarter of a mile down the road. It almost got the other end of my neighborhood. Where I got it back. It was just like, I've always calibrated my compass every single flight ever. So, I mean, every single outing ever since then.
That's crazy. Wow.
Is anybody in the chat had one that's going to top Kelly's? Of course, now I have to admit, when I rolled my Bugs 3 down the tree and managed to go pick it back up.
Oh, the Bugs 3. I love the Bugs 3.
Well, I had like what was it? I had the what was it, John? The first 4K camera I had.
The SJ Cam, something like that? Maybe?
No, the one that you suggested. Anyway, it was a decent 4K camera. So I've got really halfway decent stabilized footage of it flipping and rolling all the way down the tree in slow motion. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So,
and the Bugs 3, did that one that you had have GPS, or was there no GPS?
Oh no, it was the Drocon Blue Bugs.
But they're all kind of built on the same platform, right?
Yeah, but this was no GPS. It was just
okay. Because those things were brushless, and they were actually pretty powerful for kind of a toy grade drone. I've had a couple of those. Is it MJXRC? Is that what you were saying, John?
We sent one to Billy Kyle.
Nice.
Yeah, that's right. And then Billy actually sent me his Bugs 3 Pro.
Nice.
Remember that?
Quick announcement. Ron Brown has arrived safely in Georgia. He announced that he really likes Georgia because it's the first warm place he's been to so far. And that he will be arriving in Florida safely tomorrow and tell everybody hi.
Sweet.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's almost here.
I think Art got down there, midday?
Art was on a plane too, wasn't he?
Yeah, there's some great pictures of Art on the plane.
Do not get customary drinks now. Yeah, I can't blame him, man. I mean, what's the round trip's like $100 now on a plane?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Ridiculously cheap, yeah.
Way cheaper.
We'll actually be in San Diego this weekend, so I'm hoping it's warmer down there than it is here. So
very nice.
The sun's out here. It's actually been semi-decent up here the last few days.
So ask Chris Hope how Texas has been. It's been pretty gorgeous the last few days too.
You're getting the wind today, ain't you, Kelly?
Lots of wind. Yeah. I mean, and all the pollen's kicking up, so kind of my allergies have been bad today. But other than that, really, really pretty the last few days.
Cool. You guys are a month ahead of us. So
next 7 days, the highs in the low 70s.
Yep. Yeah, and what's funny is around here, all of the neighbors have all their there you go, allergies. All the neighbors have all their fallen trees all out in the yard, and burst pipes. People have carpet out in the yard because we had all those burst pipes, and a lot of trees had ice on them for the first time, just collapsed, and so a lot of broken. Anyway, but it's pretty. By the way, Kai recognized my shirt. So I wore it today because it's green. It's got green on it. But this is actually from Berlin. Yeah, I did get this in Germany, Kai. I got it in Berlin. This is his name is Ampelmann. He is on the stoplights, the pedestrian stoplights in Berlin. So green for go, and then there's a red one for stop.
Oh, very cool.
Like run, Forest, run, stop, Forest, stop kind of thing.
But it's weird. It's only in Berlin. It's not in any other place in Germany. It's just a Berlin thing.
He looks like the AOL guy. Not that I'm dating myself or anything, but it looks like the AOL guy, kind of.
He does look like the AOL man, just in green. That's true. And get rid of the hat too. Wow.
There's a copyright issue there, maybe.
So
the Germans don't care.
Oh my goodness.
I don't care.
Anybody got a save story? John, you got a save story?
I've got multiple little saves. I've got multiple little save stories here.
Well, let me.
I've got one. You guys were talking about the Mavic Pro, and I actually hadn't planned to put this one in, but off the cuff, I think a lot of people haven't seen it. It's a pretty old one, but I've got one in the share screen thing. It's sitting there.
Up and roll.
All right. Okay.
I think you got to do the play thing.
Yes. Let me just.
Wait.
I'll mute the music.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't think I've gotten any copyright strikes. So this is quite some time ago now. This is the Blade Chroma.
Oh yeah.
Back in 2017.
Memory lane.
This is my Mavic Pro, and we're both flying. Everything's all cool.
What? Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh. Don't.
Oh man,
Oh, in an air collision.
What?
you see
Wait,
it,
wait,
see it smack right against that
Oh.
mast. Look at that.
Oh, and it still stayed up, man.
Yep, it still stayed up.
Man, attack
Oh.
drone.
And I lost a foot. That was the only thing that happened there.
Oh,
I
you lost one of those feet?
I lost a foot. Yeah,
another one?
yeah.
You get another one? I know they're like glued on.
Wow.
I did, but at the time though, DJ, I wasn't selling them, but
Yeah.
somebody 3D printed me a set, and
Oh, nice.
yeah, that's pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy, but yeah,
Are there antennas in those back ones, or was that just the front ones had the antennas in them?
I never broke mine to find out.
You know the Mavic Air, the original Mavic Air, it had those little foldy.
Yeah, it had the
foldy
fold
ones.
down.
Those were
Yeah.
antennas. The feet were actually antennas.
I think you're right, Kelly. In the front arms of the Mavic Pro, it had the antennae down.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Well,
Pro
those are the
does,
back
too.
ones. Those are the back.
Yeah, they were just those little
the
square
landing feet.
Those little
Yeah.
square nubs.
Nubs,
Yeah,
yeah.
And you could slide them out. You could actually slide them out too if you knew how.
I
But,
saw some
yeah.
aftermarket parts for those that clipped onto those and made the back a little higher, so you could get it up out of the grass more.
Yeah, those came out later, but at the time there were literally no feet. But somebody was really cool and 3D printed them for me because apparently they had the same problem. Their foot had been knocked off somehow, and
By a
It was
blade
glued
chroma.
on.
crazy, crazy. I'm lucky I didn't lose it. I'm lucky I didn't lose the damn thing. And to this day, we still don't know what happened because my friend who was flying the Chroma says that suddenly he just seemed to accelerate up. And what happened to the Chroma after that was kind of funny. The Chroma just kind of flew off. It flew off on its own and ended up in a tree. And he's like, I'm not even moving it. So I really don't know what happened because I wasn't super close to him. I couldn't see what was going on with his sticks, but I don't know if he panicked or what. Yeah, that's just crazy. Here's another little one. This one's kind of funny.
I guess I'll find one too. I've got a couple.
This will go quick. This will be a quick one.
It's okay because you all got the other half of the show planned. You've already got it figured out. We were talking about it before we got started. I can see both of you just like
this one happened recently. It's a quick one.
I'm gonna find one.
It's a quick one. It's not extreme, but let's you got it. All right, so I'm flying a little whoop, like a tiny hawk, that kind of thing.
Saw this.
And doing my typical little backyard. And now anybody that knows anything about the battery life on these things, now I'm in the neighbor's fence. I've got 3 volts left on the battery. I've got like no battery life left, but luckily I was able to make it out of the fence.
And out of the grass.
Out of the grass too. I
Nice.
just lifted out, and that was a quick little save. I was like,
I thought you was gonna tell us it landed on the roof and you had to climb up on the roof.
No, that was the save. That was the save. I didn't have to knock on my neighbor's door and say, "Sir, I have a drone in the backyard. Can I get it?" I'm lucky. I'm lucky that has not happened.
What drone? There wasn't a drone in my backyard. Did it look like this? No, it wasn't that one.
It's amazing that has not happened yet. I've lived here for 2 years now, and I've had some pretty close calls with fences, but that still has not happened yet.
My neighbors just throw them back over. They know.
Nice.
Yeah, my neighbors know too. My neighbors know too, but that was.
But there's always that one neighbor.
Yeah.
There's always that one that you never know.
That's why you got to live out with Chris Hope on hundreds of acres with just cows for neighbors. That's where you want to
then
fly.
No one will ever bother you. So I'm going to share another one here real quick.
I got one after you, John.
Okay, cool.
Since we're on Mavic Pro topics here.
So this one happened with the Tiny Hawk Freestyle. And it happened a while back now.
Tiny Hawk Freestyle.
Whoa.
Oh, did you see what happened there? It kind of laggy.
Loopy-looping in the grass.
I almost got stuck on the pavilion there because when I did that power loop,
Did you ski jump off the pavilion? No, you didn't.
I did, yeah. I did. I ski jumped off the
Ski
pavilion.
jumped
It's
off the
it's
pavilion.
lagging. I don't know why it's lagging.
He's got some beautiful hair.
Could be the
You
window
might go
size.
this
Hold
time,
on.
folks.
A little bit better now.
All you would have had
Alright,
to do is
here's
put
the
a-
power
Pretty
loop.
good.
Here's the power loop, and you can see I hit the pavilion right there.
You did. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it's because it
Get
was
a broom
lagging, but I have it in
handle
small form now.
and whack the ceiling, under there.
Yup,
and it would've
I
probably
mean, and I
took it off.
disarmed it too, but like mid power loop, I literally hit the thing, and that was my last pack of the day. That's why we say in FPV, don't say last pack because
Yeah,
that's the kind of stuff
Jinx.
that happens.
That's a jinx.
it's like the last run on a ski day. You're like, okay, I'll do one more, and that's when you break your leg.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I was
Mhm.
This is back the first summer I had my Mavic Pro. I was getting ready to go to. It was the weekend before we were going to Maui, and I was going to bring them. I was all excited to bring the Mavic Pro with me on vacation finally and get some real footage. So I was out in the backyard testing, and the darn thing. Well, let's see if I can pull it up here. It's a quickie. I won't use the sound. It's gonna play. Here we go. So I'm just messing around in the backyard, and this one's private. I don't even share this one anymore. But like, I don't know if it's because I didn't calibrate the compass or what, but it kind of tried to go and like return to home on its own. I think because it shot up on me. See, like it just kind of shot up and then, but it wasn't going home because it's like I'm trying to fight the sticks and it's not going where I want it to go. It almost hits the pine tree. Now it's between me and my neighbor's house. I'm like, holy crap, I can't get it. It's the sticks aren't responding. It just doesn't care what I'm doing. So it yaws left. And then I don't know how this happens, but it starts. Yeah, I couldn't control it. It's just on its own now. I'm almost threw the remote control in the air. And somehow it threads the needle between those trees, the neighbor's house, over that bush, and then smacks into this baby maple. And then lands on the ground up, like right side up. Didn't break anything.
Wow.
So
Wow, man.
Lucky.
Kind of lucky you hit the house, honestly.
Wow.
That was.
It hit the tree and not the house.
Yeah, because that's where it was
it
eating.
hit low in the
Yeah.
maple, and it caught up in the branches and the in the leaves and stuff, and it kind of dropped down straight. So the problem was, my wife and I flew off to Maui the next week, and I couldn't fly the thing with confidence till like the last couple of nights there because I was afraid I was going to crash it. So I have like
That's
zero
crazy,
footage.
man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was. I thought the gimbal was broken for sure on it because I've seen so many. It was such a fragile gimbal assembly.
Nah.
It worked really great. In fact, tomorrow is my 4th anniversary of when I got my Mavic Pro, my very first drone.
Oh, nice.
Oh, very cool.
Nice.
Everybody
You're
remembers their first.
Take it out to dinner, do a little date night.
Gone. It's gone. I traded it in.
Oh.
It went to Carolina Drones to get a Mavic 2 Pro back in the
At least
day.
you didn't flip it over in the water with pool noodles on it, like I did. That's where my Mavic Pro went, and then I ended up sending it to I think Mel at 400 AGL to fix, but he wasn't able to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? Just fried all the electronics?
Yeah, it was gone.
Boo.
Ethan, you got any save stories?
Well, I think, my best save that I ever had was probably one that I had 2 weeks ago, and I shared with you guys where I was flying this FPV drone, and I was trying to practice a wall ride at this office complex that I like to fly at, and smacked a tree on the attempt, and this thing, of course, spirals out of control and lands on top of the building's roof.
Oh,
It was like one of those flat roofs that they have for offices, But so I was able to turtle mode it to flip it over, but I couldn't take off because I obviously broke a prop. It was enough to get it the turtle mode flip back over. So I was freaking out. So I didn't get any footage of any of this because I'm like freaking out. How do I get this thing back? And it was one of these brand new builds that I just built. So I ran home real quick to get the Mavic 2, and then I test hovered a secondary drone that I had just to make sure this could pick it up because I didn't want to lasso the FPV drone and this gets stuck too, So yeah, I was able to pick it up no problem, and I was able to hang a string from it with a loop in it, and basically fished this thing up and picked it up and brought it back with the Mavic 2. So
Oh,
Good
super.
Nice. Very
Mavic
nice.
2 has some freaking power. It can.
Oh yeah, because this had a 6S like 1500 battery on it and a GoPro 9.
Wow.
And
That's some
it
payload right
it-
there.
Oh yeah, it picked it all up
Not-
like it was nothing. No
Not
problem.
sub 250.
Well, the Mavic
Yeah,
2 itself
definitely.
is 2 pounds. It weighs in right around 2 pounds.
Yeah,
Just
I don't
pretty
even know if
bulky.
anybody's tested the capacity on the payload capacity on this. If it,
Somebody
you know,
did. So
But I mean, it could probably pick up 2 of these fully loaded. The way it stashed it up, didn't even phase it. It wasn't even wobbling either from the weight, from the pendulum effect. It was like
yeah.
hovering rock style. It didn't, no problem. So
I think
yeah,
Chris,
that goes with me everywhere now.
Chris
Well,
Rollins did a test, didn't he? I think he might have done a payload test.
Maybe.
Those guys did.
He
It's
would have
definitely
only
impressive.
done it if it was on fire. Like that would
Oh,
have been.
I love. Yeah,
Is this another save video, John?
Yes, this is another save video, and I want to say before I play it, it's not one that I am proud of. Don't do this at home, and
try this
learn from it, because something like this could be an expensive mistake. So here we go. Let's play it.
Oh.
Oh, holy smokes!
Let's play that one again. Let's do on the action replay here.
You're trying to dive that light pole, huh?
Yeah, well,
it's,
not me. That wasn't me. I found this on an SD card on the ground, but I'm just saying.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those light fixtures are probably like, what, $300 a light or some shit? I have no idea.
Probably.
So
Yeah,
I-
about right.
that wouldn't have been a fun replacement. But yeah, there you go. Don't do that. Don't do
Xfana drug dealers. I have a feeling they have tested payloads.
Not drone
that. Yeah,
related.
that was
but
crazy, bro.
Many years ago, I used to work for an AV company doing corporate events mostly in like hotels. Like, we would have conferences and stuff like that. You guys know what I'm talking about, where you go in and there's big screen and people come in and they give the big rah-rah speech. So I would do the video and the lighting and sound and whatever. So we were working, my buddy Jim, who used to work for the same company, and we were up really late because the load-in had been late. The show was early the next morning, so we had to have everything set, ready to go for 7 a.m. rehearsal and 8 a.m. show the next day. And we were, I don't know, it's like 2 or 3 in the morning. We were just exhausted. We'd been there since 6 a.m., just ready to keel over. So we started making balls out of gaffer's tape, just like big wads of it, and we're playing catch in the ballroom. I mean, it's a big room, so we're just throwing it back and forth. Anyway, he throws it up, goes right into a crystal chandelier, and just rained down glass through that crystal chandelier it just kept coming down and kept coming down. And we threw away the ball, picked up all the glass, finished, and got out of there. Nobody noticed. I guess nobody was awake at that hour.
Wow.
You were talking about things you've done that you weren't that proud of, but that was one of them for me. I felt a little bad because that was probably several $100s worth of chandelier that we destroyed.
Yeah, you know what? Crap happens. Hey, I've always said that if something like that were to happen, it is what it is, and I'll own up to it.
Well, at least
What
it
are you
wasn't
gonna
a
do,
drone
right?
I was flying. I mean, there weren't even drones back then. This is before drones.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't even know for sure if part of it had collided with that light, if it would have inflicted that much damage, or even necessarily anything at all. It wasn't super heavy, so
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else?
Well,
I've
we'll
got
see.
mine ready. I'm gonna share mine. Anybody else got one? Anybody?
Share it up.
Anybody? The one I was talking about before, the infamous, and it's actually entitled "Bugs Tree versus the Pine Tree." I'll probably get another copyright hit because this is a unique band or an older band, but maybe I should just mute it. Yeah, that would help. But it's a really cool band, and you can see. Yeah, it's what?
oh my god.
Just keep talking about it. Yeah, you can see. I'm just flying up and down the property line.
Oh, Geek Spawn is coming after me. Well, I found that on the card on the ground, dude. So
Yeah, that was not an actual.
I didn't see any pilot there in that video. Did you?
Didn't it have the initials SH on it, John?
Yeah, it might have. I wonder what those initials are.
Yeah.
SA.
And maybe a British Jack on there too.
Yeah, there you go. No, the whole plastic was a British Jack. Yeah.
Whoever did that video
Sounds
wasn't
suspect.
adhering to
It was
the
the whole
standoff
the plastic cover. The plastic cover was a Union Jack. So
Sounds pretty suspect.
Oh my goodness. This
okay, let me go ahead and let me move it up here.
Just a little bit.
Who was the band that was in the original soundtrack?
A band called Axe.
Axe. Yeah. Like a metal band from the
Yeah,
70s or 80s.
Yeah. One of my and my favorite one of my favorite songs.
Bobble around.
Yeah, one of my favorite. Well, it's a Bugs 3, dude.
No stabilization on that guy.
No, it just raised Cane with it. And you can tell I was getting a little rowdy. I was like, yeah, boy, because like Kelly was saying, it's brushless. It doesn't weigh a whole lot, man, and it would just rip.
Yeah, they would go. Mine had a flip button too. Did yours have a flip button on it?
Yeah, I got it, and you can see I can do it telepathically. I'll show it to you here. In a okay, wait.
Telepathically.
Watch. Here we go. Okay. Whoa!
Oh my God!
Man, those trees.
Oh, wait. I hear I could turn.
Is this in slow motion? Because it's falling forever.
Wait, listen.
Ooh,
Inception.
that reminds me.
It's the Matrix.
While we're on the
It's in
same
Matrix.
subject.
No, I can't even count how many times I've gotten an FPV drone stuck in trees.
So can you turtle mode it out, or what do you do?
Sometimes you get lucky and you can, but
Depends on if the props spin in or out, right? I mean, that is one thing I will say. The DJI FPV, the props spin out.
Yeah, they spin out, so it's self-cleaning, kind of.
Yeah, that's the way I run all my stuff. So
I had to hike into the woods, but I managed to get it. And you could hear at the end of it how it was just going.
You got it back.
Yeah, I got it back.
Nice.
Got some stickers and briars, and John's got another one ready.
I got one more because I saw that tree thing and I had to throw this one in because this is also a really old one.
Oh,
so
the X5 HC.
This is my blade chroma going after a SEMA X5 HC. This is brilliant.
Whoa.
This is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant.
Was the SEMA stuck in a tree?
Yes, it was. And that's weed whacker string tied to a little hook there.
Yeah.
Let's see that's cool to see the shadow of the bird right there.
Caught a
That's
tree.
cool.
Look, he caught a tree.
Oh boy.
I can't even see the stuck drone.
Oh man.
I think you can see the arm down there.
There it is.
Yeah.
There
It's
it is.
a black
Yeah.
one.
Yep. Right there.
I love the SEMA X5C. Those things are awesome.
Oh no! Oh, it's a 2-for-1. That's terrible.
You destroyed a $400 drone for a $40 drone.
That's more of a crash than a save. But in a way, I tell you what, I picked it up.
What happened to John?
We lost him.
That tree
John-
hates drones.
John-
That's what it is.
He did
John
something
took
to
it.
his-
That's a drone-eating tree. They're very. You gotta kill all of
the
those.
drone came back.
Cut it down.
He's back
Evil.
now.
I closed it off. I closed it off by accident. I was trying to say though that was actually more of a save though than it looked because I picked that thing up. Nothing, no damage. It just cushioned the fall. The tree cushioned it on its way down.
That's like mine.
So-
like mine, the leaves kind of broke the fall and everything. Is weird.
Exactly. Kind of like how I was just thinking Sean Oz's FPV drone. He had another crazy save recently. The bush broke his fall. So
The trampoline effect.
Yes.
We'll call it.
yes,
It's like Buster Keaton, falling through those awnings in front of the building, or
Yeah, burn off
or Wile E. Coyote,
yeah, I picked that thing up and it
Never
was totally
felt
fine.
Yeah, Wile E. Coyote who could stand suspended in midair until he looked down and realized
Right.
Those were
I love the little dust ball at the end too, though.
those are primitive times in the drones.
Oh yeah.
Do you still have your blade chroma?
I do still have my blade chroma, but sadly, I have no way to fly it, at least at the moment, because I sold my Spectrum transmitter a long time ago. And it's kind of just sat. I figured I'd get a 4-in-1 module or something by now, but never ended up doing it.
an old Spectrum from all the Blade stuff. I still have a few Blade drones. I haven't flown them in a while, but I still have an old Spectrum radio too. I actually originally got a Spectrum. Now this was back in the RC plane days, but it was to fly a little J3 Cub airplane. That was my first Spectrum radio.
I actually had a Sport Cub S. And
yeah, those were cool. Hey,
yeah,
Lloyd,
it was fun.
I see Lloyd in there.
That was fun.
Yeah, Lloyd was telling Chris to drink lots of water.
Drink
You
lots
see
of
it
water.
early- Wait, where's it at? Here you go.
Oh, actually,
Or was it you? For you? I don't know. Because he usually tells Chris he's his nephew. So are you his nephew too? I don't know.
Chris Hope, not me.
Yeah, me and Lloyd, uncle and nephew, long time now.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. He was telling Chris to drink lots of water.
Yeah.
You know, Kai. So Kai mentioned Lone Star UAV mentioned about the iFly Titan versus the Gep RC Phantom. You were there when that happened, Chris, right? When Kai plowed into me. Weren't you and Jerry there that time?
Yeah, you were chasing Jerry's car, and then Kai decided to take you out.
I got to find that video because that was actually I just cleared off my hard drive, my work drive too, so I don't think I have it on here, but I'll find it because he just I turned around, he turned around, and then that Titan is a 6S, big beast, had a Osmo action on it, and mine was a little toothpick FPV, and you see it hit, and mine just went flying over into the trees, like on the other side of a ditch, and his just kept flying, like didn't even notice it.
So did Kai mistake you for a water tower or something?
Yeah, exactly. Kai's just a bully. He's just a bully.
Guy said, "Kill it who?"
Kidding, Kai.
Yeah. We're kidding, Kai. You got to stay on Kai's good
He's
side.
bigger than me. He probably kicked my butt.
He's bigger than all six of us.
Well, didn't you notice the way?
Probably kick my ass too.
We're kidding, Kai. We're kidding. Okay, we're kidding.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I drive.
Okay.
I fly an old man. FPV.
Yeah, the old man FPV drone. So do we have any more?
Kids, get off my lawn. There.
No. What I saved 3 Social Security checks to buy this FPV drone.
Didn't go to the casino for a month.
Exactly.
I probably have saves elsewhere, but I couldn't go through years of DVR. I mean, I have lots of DVR footage saved. That's how I was even able to pull all of that. But that's just what I could remember. I've got all sorts of crazy crap.
I was going to say since
This
it's the
right
old
here, 6 terabytes.
There you go.
Backup.
Well, I like John's backup system. That's what I want to end up with eventually. But
yeah,
I've got all totaled, I think I've got 14 terabytes, and I'm just throwing all kinds of stuff in it.
I was going through my really old stuff today. I was thinking of putting together like a 4th anniversary thing. It's the old footage is pretty bad. The Mavic Pro had really good stuff, but the Pilot, and the cinematography just ain't there.
I started with a SEMA X8 clone, so that gives you an idea of what my footage started out looking like.
That you use because with the SEMA X5C, I just pulled the camera and the landing gear off of it, and it's just flat, and it is so much more fun to fly. I want to show you guys something though, real quick. It's 4K, so it may or may not. It may be a little jittery, but let me see if I can. Let me see if I can show this to you guys real quick. This is something I shot yesterday. Let's see. Yeah, it should be there and here. And which one is it? 06. Okay. Check this out if it'll play smoothly.
I found that if the window is shrunk a little bit, it plays smoother.
All right. So
this is doing good. This is working.
Can I scroll through this a little bit? Yeah, I can. Okay. Check this out. This was yesterday at Spider Mountain. Yeah. Do you know where that is, Chris Hope? In Burnett?
No, don't know.
It is a mountain biking trail, and it has a ski lift, so people can you ride up to the top and then you barrel down. And
cool.
Here he comes. My buddy Wesley is an awesome mountain biker, and this is me chasing him with the DJI FPV.
Nice. Ooh, I see the wires. Ooh, wires.
Yeah, there were wires. There were other bikers. There were other drones. You'll see another drone go by in a second. It's crazy. Look at him go though. And then I think I came under here, and then I went up, and look how close I come to the.
Oh,
look
yeah,
how close I come to the wires here.
Oh man!
I didn't realize. I knew there were wires, but I thought they were over the road. I didn't realize they went over the trail like that. So I missed those. And then I kept,
wow.
That was a good save.
Okay, what mode are you
almost got him
flying
again.
in? What mode?
I was actually in sport mode, and the reason I would have preferred to have been in acro, but the reason I was in sport is because I updated, like I had been flying on the pre-release version of the software, and I updated the real version of the software, and then I would have had to go back in and do all the stuff to change it into acro. So this is all in sport.
Interesting. You know what? I would have been scared to fly through there in acro unless I'd gone through it in at least sport mode several times.
Well, the one thing, I think actually I was surprised how well I could chase him in sport mode. Like I was happy with how sport mode behaved here. But are you guys still seeing, like, we're going along the side of the road?
I see, like you're dropping down behind him.
So basically I spent.
Oh,
I did this with the and there we went to two different locations, but I used my newbie drones. I used the little guy, the little Emacs, and then I used the DJI FPV, and I was just kind of trying to see which one was the best for chasing. And the one thing the DJI FPV had over all the rest of them was the others didn't have the range as the Oculus 3. Like this one, you could just see a long way. Yeah.
Like the peace sign there. Kelly, do you ever crop the props out on the drone footage and leave them on the goggles?
This is just raw footage. I mean, I shot this yesterday.
I was just curious because like I'm letting DJI crop the drone footage, but I leave the props in the goggles so I can see the peripheral when I'm.
So the actual recorded footage doesn't have props.
Yeah, it's the setting in the goggles. You can crop it. They'll crop it for you, which is kind of cool. It's one less thing to do in post.
Yeah. No. I've usually just had it just like that, and then
you just kind of bring it in if you want to.
And then I know, John, you wanted to talk a little bit about the Emacs, right?
Right. Yeah, because it came out just a couple days ago, right?
Yeah. Let me see if I can.
And you did your review, and it was good.
Share one more video about it. I'm just trying to find that video. Which number is it here? Yeah. So actually, and the funny thing too, I don't know it's for sure, but this place, Chris, I don't know if you've ever heard of Revelry Peak Ranch. Have you heard of that outside of Burnett?
No.
So I didn't know this, but so my mountain biking buddy, Wesley, he knows the owner out there, and the owner, they do a bunch of safety training for drone pilots. Like for that guy I had on speed dial last week, that crew from the Austin Travis County EMS, they do safety training for these guys. And so when Wesley introduced me to him, he's like, we do lots of drone stuff out here. You should come out. And I was like, well, you ever had a conference? And he said, as a matter of fact, we had 40 firefighters out here doing training just recently. And I was like, wow, okay, maybe this would be a good place to have it. So I'm in talks with them. I think that would be really cool because he has 1,300 acres and pretty much all kinds of interesting terrain to fly over. I was trying to find that one. Okay, yeah, here it is. Let me share one more with you. This was the and then we can talk about the newbie drones. Which one? Oh, it's the wrong folder. Sorry, this is all on an external drive, so I'm having to do a lot of navigating. All right,
totally understand. I was doing some of my own navigating. I was doing some of my own navigating earlier just to get some of the clips together.
All right, can I mute this? Okay, so this is the Emacs. Oh no, this isn't the one I wanted. Dang, how do I get out of it?
Just stop your shares because
stop share.
There's a bunch down here in the load. Yeah,
don't hit leave studio like John did.
Remove from studio.
No, I closed the tab out. I literally just closed the tab out.
I left the studio once on mistakes. Like, whoops.
Where is this bad boy? Anyway, yeah, the Emacs is awesome. I'm a big fan of it. and you know, again, we were talking about the price. It is a bit expensive, but honestly, if you wanted to buy the parts and build it yourself, you'd pay almost that much.
Yeah, I mean, look, I saw some people saying, "Oh, wow, 300? No, thanks." Like, it's not. I don't think it's unfairly priced at all because the cost of Vista, you know, as Ethan knows, you're $150 down right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, what are you really getting? You're getting a quad. You're getting a little lightweight quad for $150. I don't think that's too bad.
Yeah, I thought it was
really
a break price.
I'm looking.
Well, I'm not finding the clip I was looking for. Dang it!
Having never, you know, actually owned a digital quad, I guess, you know, I would have to take your all's word for it because, you know, I'm thinking like, you know, Tiny Hawk prices or something, and then you know we got this coming out. I'm like, what? But then I remember how much we were bitching about the original VTX and stuff in the Emax drones and how crappy they were, and now all at once, this one.
Yeah. This should be it.
All right.
Yeah, here we go. This is that trailer I was saying I crashed into, the flatbed. Lots of metal on here, but I didn't crash into the flatbed on this one here. And I don't know if you can, well, you can leave the volume up if you want or kill it either way.
Oh, it sounds great.
See that boat? Cool. So that boat is that boat's going to be a jump for mountain bikers.
Ah, nice.
And then
cool.
this whole
nice.
This whole area is for biking up here, and then yeah, that's kind of where we had parked, and they got lots of trees and lots of things to go under.
Sweet.
Oh man, I like how this thing flies.
Yeah.
And this is with the 360 Go on it. Yeah, it's really smooth.
Oh, I really do stink at this so far.
Is there some crap? Is there some crap on the lens or something?
Yeah. The lens is dirty. I crashed. So I flipped 3 times here, but because the Insta360 compensates for that, you don't see the flip. Hold on,
Wow. That's
back
so
it up.
cool.
So watch this.
That was trippy.
You'll see a triple flip here.
That is so cool.
But all you see is the prop going around in circles.
And the debris goes around in circles too.
Yeah. That's why I left it on the lens so you could reference the flips.
That's so funny.
I totally forgot about that. I was like, oh yeah, it's kind of lame.
Kelly, does it fly like the freestyle too? It kind of looks like it does.
It does. Yes. Actually even better. Even smoother.
Just tell everybody from now on.
Boom, there's
I got one.
Oh, Ghost Branch got you.
Yeah.
No, tell everybody from now on that you actually put a dot on the lens so that they can see the flip.
Right.
There you go.
You know, no, that's there for reference.
That's right.
there
Reference
for
dot.
reference.
Yeah, reference dot.
Yeah, you can
Listen
kill
to
it.
beeping
It's
beep,
3
beep.
minutes of it sitting here beeping until I finally found it.
So is that a 4S or a 6S?
4. It's sub 250. It's a sub 250 grams. It's
nice.
Hold on, where is it? It's right here.
Oh wow, cool.
Yeah, it's I really and not this Friday, but next Friday, the 26th, Cornell, who's the marketing director for Emax, is going to be on my live show, and I'm trying to talk him into giving one of these away. So I think he's going to give something away. He said, I don't know if I can give one of these away because it's brand new, yada yada. But I'm trying to talk him into it. So that'll be not this Friday, but next. So
cool.
I know John wants to use affiliate bucks to get his.
I do, yeah. I want to take what I have in Banggood and.
Well, Emax actually has an affiliate program, and it's pretty good. It's like the rates on it are. I mean, I've already made some money on the affiliates for this guy. So yeah,
I didn't know Emax had an app program of their own.
My only real issue with this guy, and you notice I have zip ties all over it. This zip tie here was to hold back the extra battery cable and the balance port cable, like hold those out of the way so they didn't get in the props. And then down here on the actual arms, these little wires right here just kind of get easily connected. So I put a zip tie there. And then this is the connector for if you want to put a FreeSky receiver in it. This is the connector for that FreeSky receiver. I just left it on there in case I ever wanted to do it and just tied it down so it wasn't flopping around. And then this is the TPU mount for the Insta360. I actually had to put a another zip tie, and I mentioned this in my review video, another zip tie right, let me see if I can point to it right there. And all that's doing is sucking that in, because otherwise the strap was getting hit by this prop right here. So yeah, the props they're just so, here, I'll show you. Look how close together, and this is not uncommon, but they're almost touching, you know, there's just not a lot of room. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's
really
a
like
tight
this guy.
build.
Tight tolerance.
And I mean, again, crash after crash after crash, this thing has just held up. The thickness, it's 4.5 millimeters, which I think for a drone this size is actually pretty thick for carbon. I mean, aren't they usually like 3.5?
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. You know what you could also do. Of course, this would just be putting more work into it. But there's two things that people in FPV do to avoid slashing the wires on their
Please
arms.
tell.
They put, okay, so this is the cheap way to do it. You take an old broken prop and you just either zip tie it to the arm, and that's it. That literally acts as a shield over the wires. The other thing, yep, okay. That's the cheap way to do it. The other way to do it is they actually make what's called race wire, and it's literally just a flat piece of, maybe Ethan's got some race wire near him. Oh, there you go. Perfect. Show him that.
Ribbon wire.
So his actually has LEDs on it.
Okay.
Nice.
It's the same principle though.
Oh, it just protects the wire so it doesn't, is it like Teflon or something so it doesn't?
So the blade, I mean, I have mine in a little too far, but basically the race wire
It's a raceway.
It doesn't have the LEDs on it, and it's just like a flat piece of circuit board.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, it's a flat circuit board, so when the prop comes down and strikes it, you're not actually striking any physical wire.
Yeah, that's
a small piece of electrical tape would work too, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and actually the zip ties did okay, just kind of pulling them in here, but that's really my only complaint about this thing is just it's really small, and so everything's. I mean, there's actually quite a bit of room in there, you know, in between the two plates, but there's just a lot crammed into it, but it's fun.
So one other thing for the battery balance leads, I used to always chop them up, but I use Bardwell's method of just
tuck it inside,
tuck it in and just wrap it in. But it still was getting chopped up or not?
I kept waiting for your earphones to go.
I do that sometimes. I do that sometimes too. It just. In this case, I was putting different length batteries on it, and so some of them had a long enough hot lead to go to here, you know, with the XT30 on it, and some of them didn't. So if the ones that didn't, I just would tuck the balance port through here, and this was just tight enough so it couldn't come back out very easily.
So what batteries do you recommend for that?
It's a 850. Milliamp hour, either race day quads. I have some race day quads, and then Emax makes an 850 milliamp hour as well. That's like kind of the sweet spot. I know Nurk, I don't know if you guys saw, Nurk did a video on this where he put one of those lithium ions on it and went for like 27 minutes or something with it. I haven't tried that. I only have one lithium ion actually, and I should try it, but it's pretty heavy, but it goes along, you know, it's like 2200 milliamp hours or something. But yeah, the 850 is supposed to be the sweet spot, and actually it flies really great with a 450. I have some little flat 450s that are smaller and light, and with that on it, and if you take the TPU mount off and just fly it, it really goes.
Cool, very very cool. It looks like it's a pretty well made bind and fly bird, and you know for the size of it, I feel like that's more friendly to take to just about anywhere.
Absolutely.
Like how does it sound? Like I know in the video it sounded like it sounded loud from the video, but I know in real life it's not that bad.
No, it's actually pretty quiet. It sounded loud for a couple of reasons. Number one, I had it all weighted down with the camera a little bit. These props are also pretty beat up. When you put brand new props on it, it's much quieter, and when you make sure nothing's hitting. The first couple of times I took off, I was hitting something, so I'd hear the click 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 click. I'd have to land it and then figure out what it was and then take off again. But no, actually with new props it's really quiet, but these are pretty beat up. Chris Hope, you would love this thing. I'll next time I see you I'll let you fly it, but if you like the Tiny Hawk freestyle, you'd like this.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I mean, I've flown the Freestyle 1, the Freestyle 2, and I love both of those. So I feel like that should be my next one.
This one has just a little more substantial weight to it, because with the Freestyle, I feel like doing tricks, you almost don't have enough mass to kind of carry some of the tricks, you know, that get the momentum you need. But this one does. This one, it's just a nice balance of, whereas, you know, with this guy, when you get this thing spinning or something, there's so much momentum with it, you know, you have to really consciously stop.
It's a heavy drone, so it's,
yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean by that with the Freestyle too. Although, you know what the best thing you do with the Freestyle too? You cut that connector off and put an XT30 on there, and supposedly that makes it. You get so much voltage sag from that.
Connector. I've heard that those.
I'm gonna do that to mine.
I don't know what those little white connectors are called, but yeah, an XT30 would probably. And then then with an XT30, are you just using one battery then, just one 2S?
Yeah, you're just using one 2S battery, and this is my favorite typically. The 450. Yeah.
Because I've mostly flown it with Chris Hope. How do you fly yours? With one 2S or with two 1S?
Two 1S.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing too.
I think about 6 minutes. Around with it.
Yeah, very, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, I really do like that Emax. And I said this earlier, of these two, honestly, this one for me is more fun because you can fly it in more places. This is fun. I mean, like chasing the biker with this was great. I couldn't keep up with him as well with this, but just for, you know, if I want to go out at lunchtime and fly around my office parking lot, I wouldn't do it with the DJI FPV. That's too much drone for that space. But this little guy, as a matter of fact, if you guys get a chance to see the video I did on it at the end, there's this big piece of art in our parking lot at my office. It's like it looks almost like I don't know, it's like some kind of a building thing, but it's like a tower and it has these little holes in it, and I flew all through it.
Nice.
Nice.
I want somebody to make
a fun video.
Thank you.
I want somebody to use the new DJI version 2 goggles and the remote control on a little FPV.
Well, you can't use the remote. The remote's not compatible.
It's totally not. Yeah, it's
the goggles are. I think the remote is set up for OcuSync 3 and these, you know, like the Vista and the DJI Air unit. I mean, anybody else aware of that? I'm pretty sure you can't use the DJI remote, the new one, with this.
I was hoping they have a new system come out to work with this stuff, because then.
So technically they should be able to, because all that stuff is like the 5.8 gig, and the radio puts out both dual bands. So
2.4 and 5.8.
Yeah,
you would think with a firmware update they would be able to do that. I doubt they're going to.
Bummer, because I'd love to be able to reuse. I love the little controller. You know, you guys, the FPV guys, you guys carry that great big monster. It looks like out of Back to the Future, the great big.
Well, not always.
Tava stuff.
The Tango 2.
Lately, not really. Yep.
Video game style is getting more popular. Oh, look at Sean!
What?
Nice hat.
Oh my god.
Yes.
John's like, what the hell, man?
Yeah, I know. Who the hell let him in here?
Sean, do you have your Tello handy?
Handy.
There, I'll do you, Sean.
Okay. We were talking earlier about the Union Jack. That's why.
Oh yes.
But I sent him a Tello with a Union Jack sticker on it,
and it is awesome.
You like it? Have you flown it?
It's in my main living room because I fly it nearly every day inside the house.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
and it took how long did it take to get there, Sean? Like 6 months?
Yeah, something like that. Just over 5 months. And it had stickers from all sorts of different quarantines, and the New Zealand customs opened it and removed something from the packaging, which was interesting.
So I sent it to England and it went through New Zealand.
Yeah, as it would, of course.
Not uncommon.
Yeah, sounds about right. Yep.
Yeah,
okay, Sean. So you were saying that you had some numerous near misses with the DJI FPV drone because of advice you had gotten from Billy Kyle,
I avoided
and John Cuppi.
Avoided them, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so last time I was on here, and John Cuppi spent the entire time lying and basically trying to stop every camera flyer from flying the FPV drone, and then Billy, Carl, and Ethan actually helped me, which was awesome. And yeah, those tips genuinely did help me, because there was a couple of times there where a couple of things could happen and that type of thing where it was a little bit scary, but yeah.
All right. So have you popped your acro cherry?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, at 200 feet isn't exactly popping anything. So,
but you've actually went to acro?
Yeah. I've been in mode. Yeah, but nothing, nothing crazy, and
he went to acro for 1 second and then he flipped it back at 200 feet in the air.
Yeah, and what is it?
I'd say 15 seconds, 20 seconds.
15 seconds. See, that's why his is still there and not sent to DJI care.
But we all know the true name of the button, just like Billy Kyle told us. It's not a panic button. It's the OS button. Shit. It's the oh shit switch.
Yeah.
So.
Panic button. Panic button.
In FPV, we say send it, but with DJI FPV, we say send it to DJI care.
Right.
Oh,
sorry, I had to.
Remember what was it? Because they were we were like calling it Flash, and then I finally said that it's. I said that it's actually named Crash Bangaloop.
Yeah, honestly, in the last week or so, I knew people were going to crash it, but I kind of thought that we wouldn't see as many crashes as we did. Wow. It's just been a torrent of crashes day after day after day. Like, you'd think that seeing all the reviews before people bought it, they wouldn't.
The only thing I would say about that, as a camera drone flyer who literally did absolutely no FPV, zero acro before it, is it's really addictive. It's a really, really nice drone. And in normal mode, it's very nice. Literally, the first time you fly in normal mode, the next time you don't want to be in that anymore. And sport mode is really, really nice, and it has a really nice flow to it. Yeah, way faster than I need. And I think I think sport will end up being my favorite mode for my cinematic and my sort of camera drone flyer purposes. And it kind of gives you not false sense of security, but it gives you you do become quite secure about it. So
yeah, and you know what, that makes sense. That makes some sense.
And the thing about it is we still got another new drone coming. Everybody's saying, "Oh, DJI doesn't do that." Yes, they do. They do it constantly. They get your money and they get the rest of your money.
DJI, otherwise known as Apple. Yeah, the refresh.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is on the heels of this, are we really going to have whatever the Mavic 3 is? Is this going to be
prosumer? Yeah, indeed.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I guess I should put my Mavic Air 2 up for sale then, is what you guys are saying.
Why? It's a great drone. My Mavic 2 Pro's not going anywhere.
I know.
You can say that now.
But I say that now. Yeah, I know. I'm the same guy said, I'm not buying the FPV drone. And then the day it gets released, I'm on with Asha droning on. I'm like, well, I just ordered it. And everybody's like, what? You just...
Honestly, the only thing that would make me on the fence about selling a drone these days sooner rather than later is because, I have my Mavic Pro 1 for ages, is the upcoming remote ID crap. And I hate to bring up the remote ID.
No, it's an issue. It really is. It's another reason not to do it. Because,
I have to trust that there's going to be some kind of solution for my Mavic Air 2 down the road. And we actually
have the similar here, which is one of the reasons why my UK audience in my video talking about the FCC filing got a little bit excited, is because we've got a new drone set of drone classifications that are out now, which is C0 to C4, and this could be the first C-class drone, which means that we will be going from, before our new regulations came in at the end of December, we had to stay 150 meters away from built-up areas. Now we can get within 50, but if this is one of the first C2 rated drones, it means we could get within 5 meters of people, uninvolved people in town centers, built up areas, which is something very exciting for us.
Wait a minute, what did I miss for the phone call? John, things are going back to normal. I noticed 6:30 phone call. Now, what did I miss? Say that please again, because I got intrigued. All I heard was the tail end of it.
Basically what I was saying was the John Cuppi sex tape It had a really great start. The middle was quite quick, and the end was very disappointing.
And do I want to know? Do I even want to know?
You'll have one of the fluffers on the next Geeks Vana.
But did John enjoy it? That's the main thing.
Yeah.
It was art. It was
wow, this is awkward. That's awkward.
art.
It was art.
Not a person. I mean, like artistic.
I thought you meant. Okay.
No, I meant like it was. It was that, you know, like when they say the scene is necessary for the plot.
Yes.
It wasn't me that made the awkward joke.
But you invited it. You invited it by letting him weasel his way onto the panel. He's such a weasel.
This is why I hate John Cuppi.
Oh my god!
You do not. You wouldn't be on here if you hated him. Don't lie now.
Okay, so
what was that? That was wild.
Something to do. You were saying that it was be within certain distance.
Yeah,
of people.
basically, the UK drone laws have changed really dramatically of the last few months, and we are waiting for some new C-class drones to come out, which means that people with the lower end qualification A2 CFC, it'll mean that they can get within 5 meters of uninvolved people, and we have a feeling this drone might, only loosely might, because it has the new UK CA post-Brexit classification on the label, the battery label. So we think maybe that's one of the reasons they're bringing it out now, because if they brought out a C2 classed A2 Air 2 version, it would sell like hotcakes all over Europe and the UK. It would literally, I mean, I would buy one like that, and I have an
But
Air
this
2.
may not even be released in the US.
Oh no, it will be. It will be.
Will it be beneficial here too?
Europe and the UK is like a blip on the sales radar in comparison to the US.
I get that, but what's going to be so intriguing about this drone that's going to make people want to buy it? Because you were saying it's like an Apple refresh, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know about this drone, because obviously we don't know enough about it. We've only got a battery sticker. I feel like with like the Mini 2, and then when the Mini 2 came out, people were already talking about what the Mini 3 will have, that it felt like DJI were moving towards more like the Apple refresh type thing, which I'm again, that's possibly to do with the fact that they're sort of moving slightly more towards mainstream consumers, not even just droners anymore, of course, with a lot of their products. So yeah, but it's supposed to have a slightly better camera, isn't it, and that type of thing. So it sounds exciting. It's an interesting one to refresh if they're not going to do the C label, because if they don't do that, it will not sell in Europe or the UK at all. So they will cut themselves out of that market, because we've only got, if you buy a drone without a C label, you can only fly it in anywhere decent airspace until 2022, and then it's got to be flown far from people. It basically becomes an old legacy drone. So
yeah, I mean, you
just hang it on your wall.
That's how this whole conversation started, right? Because years ago, I could count on something I'm buying today to not be a paperweight, but with the new regulations, it's kind of tricky. It's a little trickier. You might want to flip your stuff more often.
Exactly.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's why they haven't come out with the Mavic 3 yet, until they get all that remote ID
looking good out. Sean, looking
very
good.
Nice.
I like that.
I have to represent as a member of the flight crew. I have to represent.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
You got to get that yearly jacket, man. So you got to get your props in now.
Absolutely.
And I have to send it a year in advance, so it'll get there in time.
Yeah, you were mentioning that you thought you had a potential place for the next spin up earlier.
Oh. Yeah. So the place that we were just looking at, the footage we were just looking at, the bike ranch, that it's in Burnett, Texas. And by the way, I was told that Burnett, Texas had the Bill's Burger Barn, which is the best burger in Texas. Have you, Chris? Hope you're shaking your head.
I've heard that. Yes.
Bill's we went there after all the biking and shooting a video. It was a good burger. And you know what makes a really good hamburger is when the patty hangs out around the edge of the bun. Like it actually was bigger, little bits of it there. Oh, it was so good. So
you got my vote.
Yeah. So
for sure.
So the big thing though is that they don't really have it's more of an outdoor space. They have a pavilion. I don't think they have a meeting room. And so, maybe this year it'll be more focused on flying, just more of a meetup and flying and a little bit of talking. Because in the past, it's been more like, speakers. We've had presenters and all that sort of thing. You guys know.
Kind of like
so-
spin
Now,
down,
but
Kelly.
but my only question about that is whether or not that's actually your decision or Boozy Bob's lawyers.
Well, Boozy Bob actually finally got him to get some help. He's in recovery right now, so hopefully when he comes out of it, he's going to be a much nicer person because he got real surly with us. Real. He tried to bite Chris Hope's beard.
Oh, I guess I must have missed that one, but anyway.
Boozy Bob was a puppet that was part of Spin Up last year, and Ken Dono punched him several times during the show.
It was hilarious.
It was actually one of the funniest parts of the show.
I remember that.
Wait a minute, Ken was drinking?
Yes, it was 10 in the morning, so yes.
Was he drinking? Yeah, was he
I remember
drinking?
that now.
Shiner Bach.
He Foster Brooks did all right.
No, I didn't realize. I remember hearing about that. I don't think I actually watched it, but I was for a second. I thought that was kind of like Philly Mike's. What is it, Stu? You know, I was worried that that Kelly had
Like an alter ego.
Yeah, well, like Philly has a professional pilot that holds the sticks for him at those inopportune
It's
moments.
actually John Cuppi.
Gets around. John gets around.
No.
It's okay. The rumor started here.
Oh, okay. So do you want me to? Where is he? Are you trying to get me to send him a link, Chuck?
I don't know. He's on vacation in Thailand, but he lives in Thailand.
You're trying to get me to send him a link, man.
You should, because if he gets up, he's been flying the crap out of the FPV drone around. He's been flying around palm trees and stuff. It's
but he's on his anniversary, man, and his wife. You're telling me to call?
Oh, he wants to come on. Trust me, he does.
All right, fine. All right, y'all keep talking. Move on to the next subject.
I want to see his palm tree footage. The only way we can beat it out of him before he gets home.
Okay.
Kelly, question.
Yes, sir.
Did which goggles were you using? The DJI goggles, the first ones or second ones?
With this guy?
Yeah.
First ones.
The first ones?
Oh, yeah. He is up. You're right. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. The version 1. And they're fine, like as long as you don't go too far. The one thing I did learn from this entire experience filming out at this location was anytime you had a lot of trees, because it's pretty heavy cedar cover out there. And so if you were in those cedar trees, they really blocked the distance you could get out of even a digital system. You know what I mean? Normally with a digital system, you feel like big open field, you can go a long way off and it's all pretty clear. But in the trees, or because it is a very hilly area, if you went anywhere where there was rock between you and the drone, you would lose signal.
Just a quick. Sean's going to jump back off. We just he came in real quick to say hi to everybody and bye to everybody.
And
good to see you, Sean.
And also to tell John Cuppi that I love him.
Let's leave on a high.
Oh, he walked just like that. He jumped out. Crap. I wanted to ask him.
Group hug.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he wanted to get away from that shot John was throw at him. That's what he did.
Nice.
Actually, you know what? I actually want to ask him. I was going to ask him about his experience with with glasses and wearing the DJI goggles.
I guess they work out well. They're fine. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I was asking Ken Herron about that, and he told me he purposely always makes sure you see him put them on with his glasses because he that's how he flies with glasses. So, and he's had no problems.
I'm just catching up. Y'all keep talking.
Yeah, I was going to ask because weirdly enough, I just kind of recently got that fat foam, which is great for the light. Because the stock foam's got way too much light leak. But
you get a lot of light leak. Yep.
But I tell you what, though, because of that fat foam, I really kind of feel like it causes me to fiddle more with my glasses, and I'm almost at the point that I'm thinking of, and I hate to admit this because I thought I was cool with it, but the more I continue to fly with that fat foam, the more I'm thinking about getting the diopter inserts for my DJI goggles too. And you know what? It's really hard to find those inserts. Really hard to find. It's like DJI just doesn't make them. I've been looking for them for over a month.
So without the fat foam, how did the glasses work?
It was better without the fat foam. Yeah, it was better without the fat foam.
Why don't you just put a blanket over your head? I mean, that would work, right?
Be a little toasty,
like old school photographer. You know, remember back in the day when they had to pull the thing over and Chris Hope knows.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if is he bullshitting us or is he telling the truth?
no, he's telling the truth. I promise it'll work. It's the same thing. It's the same thing as a diopter. You just take the arms off and fit them in the deal.
Yeah. What I thought was cool was like with the original DJI goggles for the old Phantoms and the Mavics and stuff. Since I have near vision issues, I needed to get the magnifiers for those. But for the FPV version 2, I don't need them. The vision's good just as is, which is cool.
Yeah. Speaking of foam, I've actually put some shims in there, and this is the Fat Shark foam, which is super comfortable.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, it's way more comfortable than like anything you get out there.
The fat foam, huh?
Have you guys bought
Fat foam.
and you guys bought extra props for the FPV yet? The DJI FPV?
Yeah, I've gone through a lot of props.
They come in 4s, not 2s. It's kind of misleading on their advertising.
What do you mean?
Well, the price is way
That's
too
typical for the DJI FPV drone,
I got-
unfortunately.
I ordered them from Adorama Camera down in New York City. Adorama, whatever.
It's usually the other way around, though. Usually you need 4 props and they only send you 2.
Yeah, well, I bought 4 packs of them because I wanted 2 full sets of props for the thing.
Well,
now I have.
Now you have 2.
Now you can try acro.
I mean, I wanted 2 full sets. Now I have 4 because they came in 4 packs. I have
4. Yeah.
Yeah,
4.
sorry.
You know, a 4 set of these costs $3,
That's true.
and they're polycarbonate. They're really they take a beating.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, the DJI props are like $15 for a set. It's just crazy.
And you can't. I remember Ken Herron was talking about when they bend them, they're done.
Oh yeah, you don't want to even hitting little blades of grass and whatnot. You'll nick the crap out of them. If you hit a tree branch, they're gone.
Here's the thing, Chuck.
Explode.
Here's the thing. You've got more props than you anticipated. Now you can try acro.
I don't have more arms than I can anticipate, so maybe a few more arms.
So we're going to talk about this thing or what?
Yeah, go for it.
We are. We're talking about it now, I guess.
Oh wait. Yeah, he's like, oh, here's mine.
He really wants to talk about it. All right.
Yeah,
Ethan, you have the floor.
Well, I think so I'll get this right out of the way right off the bat. I like it. I really do. And it's really great. The range is awesome. The image quality is awesome, but there's a lot of stuff. I mean, besides the obvious durability issue with it, other than that, I mean, they could fix a lot. They just have some work to do, but they got some work to do. The camera.
Here we go. Fly through the swing set. I know I failed you guys.
Here you go. Carefully fly after. Don't forget the oh shit switch.
There are a lot of things I need to fly through in that playground. I just need to get a little more time, a little flight time before I do that stuff.
Okay, go ahead. Ethan. Hit it. I don't know anything about this drone. The thing about it is I don't think, and I know Chuck's still going to say it. That's fine, Chuck. I don't think it's capable of shooting the real cinematic footage like many of us are crazy. That's what I thought the drone was going to be. That's what I even said, I thought it was going to be. And it turned out to be this interesting hybrid.
That's what I expected it to be. It's exactly what I expected. Sorry,
that thing I showed you earlier of chasing the biker. I mean, that looked with the exception of the props in it. Didn't you think that was pretty cinematic?
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying. I guess what I'm talking about is like we've all talked about. We've all seen him where he's flying through the bowling alley and then and all through that, and then like the one he popped out yesterday where he actually flies through the movie theater. I don't see the DJI drone being able to pull that off.
But you also wouldn't do that with a 6S freestyle drone either. You really want for that kind of interior stuff. You really want something that has a Cinewhoop. I mean, because especially if there's people around and you're flying indoors. I don't think that was ever the intent for the DJI drone. And quite honestly, even chasing the biker, my buddy, I only did that because he was cool with it. He's tough as nails. He was like, yeah, I know there was there was a chance I could have run into him or whatever. But let me get you something real quick. Hold on.
All right. Well, what I'm expecting out of this thing.
You need an address, you can send me one free.
This thing's going to Scotland with me, and that's I'm flying around the Highlands, and that's what I want to get out of it, like sweeping around the Highlands and stuff.
This is what they filmed. I watched it behind the scenes of that bowling alley thing, and this is what they filmed it with. It was not this one in particular, but a Cinewhoop style, and so like these things are actually kind of rubberized here on the outside, and it's smooth on the inside, and this
look at John.
Yeah,
nice.
I mean, this is what you're going to do, that cinematic. And I say cinematic, it's the more those really intricate shots where you're going through a lot of spaces, going up. When he went up under the bowling alley into the back where the pins really are, awesome. That was the best part. That part,
was so cool.
The wires, he threaded through the wires and stuff.
Yeah. But crazy. you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that with a bigger version of this, right? You wouldn't do that with an Ethan. I mean, what do you think? You wouldn't do that with one of your freestyle drones, I don't think.
I feel like I have more. I like flying my freestyle stuff more so than the Cinewhoop. I feel like I have more control with my freestyle stuff than my Cinewhoops.
But indoors?
Oh yeah, I fly them indoors.
Really? Okay.
You fly a full 5-inch indoors though?
Yeah, that's how I test fly.
Oh, it's a test fly.
Wow. Gutsy.
Yeah, I'll fly them all around in here.
Wow, man. I haven't. The only thing I'll fly indoors is stuff like the Mavic Air 2, but I haven't taken an FPV drone that wasn't a Whoop to an indoor place.
This is my favorite thing to fly inside.
Holy cow!
How do you like those? Hey, how do you like those props? Because I've heard that they're pretty quiet, despite how they look.
Very quiet. Very quiet.
It looks like
you gotta have the right motor that's got enough torque to spin them though. But yeah.
Well, I tell you what, this thing. There's a reason I don't like this thing, is because it is so loud. It is probably Kelly knows it's it's easily the loudest drone that I own.
Nice.
It's called the Green Hornet, and it sounds like murder hornets. And you can see the prop on it is almost like a bullnose prop, I think. So this thing is just really loud.
Yeah,
so
same here.
Yeah,
we pretty much have the same kind of thing.
Like the same drone, just different color.
When you try to fly these indoors too, I mean, you have to let people know.
Nice.
Oh, this is the Fly More bundle. And you can get it on special order from DJI very, very soon. This will be in stock. And
the props.
The Fly More bundle.
It needs arms too.
Only available at DJI.
Can I show you guys another clip real quick?
Yeah.
All right, let me get this guy here. So we were talking about, or Ethan was mentioning about feeling more in control with a 5-inch. And I agree with you. It is so this is actually the same guy I was chasing yesterday with my 6S freestyle drone. Let me find it here. 22. Okay, this one here. And this was one of the best flights I had of the day chasing him. Let's see if I can, and you can leave it up or mute it, but this is in the same area as that other spot. But he's on the bike, he's doing these little rollers and bumpers and stuff like this. And I even though they're exposed props, and so it might be a little bit more dangerous, I just felt like you were saying, like with this drone now right here is real windy, so I was having a little bit of trouble just kind of getting lined up with him. But once I got lined up and got down low, let me skip forward a little bit more. Yeah, he's still getting lined up. This is me just goofing around. And actually, this is kind of cool. I think I dove down on him here.
Nice.
Maybe I played the wrong clip. Let's see. Maybe I ran it twice. Come on. I had this awesome shot at the end where he jumped off of one of those tall things. Yeah. This might be the sequence here. Like being able to whip around like that. And I'm not great at this stuff, but that was just so much fun, and having somebody that was willing to be my test subject like that was really awesome.
Yeah, he had a helmet on. He was all good.
Yeah.
That's
He had.
true.
Oh, here we go. Here comes this. This is the good sequence, and you can actually see my buddy Vinny was flying the DJI drone. You'll see it kind of come into frame
I just
here in a
saw it in
second.
the corner there.
Yeah.
On the left-hand side.
So I'm trying to chase him down here. Here comes.
There it is.
Here comes Vinny.
Whoa.
Yeah, kind of close.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
And again, it was kind of windy, and I'm kind of a shitty pilot, so those two things combined. But I didn't kill anybody.
Right.
But check it. This is the part I'm most proud about. At the very end, I got this whole move when he jumped off of this little tower thing here. And props to Wesley for being such an awesome biker, right?
Oh,
Boom.
Nice.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yes, very fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, I love that flip.
With a
Talking
roll.
about like a, oh yeah,
But that was, to Ethan's point, I felt the most in control with this drone out of all of them. That's my 6S. It's got lots of power. It's got lots of punch. It's lightweight. It's very nimble. This little guy here is nimble, but it couldn't fight that wind. It was not doing as well in the wind as that 6S was.
Yeah.
And then the Cinewoop was also, I tried to chase him with this, and this was really fighting the wind.
Yeah, those things are so heavy. They're like flying bricks, honestly.
Yeah.
oh yeah. This quad right here, that's my KISS build 5-inch. It's the first one that I've flown like right out of the gates where I felt like it was like reading my brain and it would go where I wanted it to go. It's like, I can't explain it. I don't know what KISS is doing, but it just straight out of the gates, it does exactly what you want it to do. And I just like my beta flight quads, some of them, my Radix flies like that too, but it took hours of tuning to get it there. And so I'm doing another KISS build, but I would say like one of my big complaints about this is the tune on this is terrible. And I think for beginners, I think it's really going to be hard to feel confident with this because it just doesn't fly very well and at full acro. And I don't know if it's a power issue. I mean, it is heavy, but a lot of my quads are heavy anyway. So the weight doesn't bother me, but it's like, when you go to zero throttle and do zero throttle moves, it doesn't fall. It's like the idle is set way too high or something with its air.
You can change the tune in the goggles, right? I mean, it's pretty easy if you know what you're looking for.
Just the rates. You can only change the rates, not the tune. So the rates the rates only control like your stick inputs, but the tune determines like how it tracks, how it falls, how the throttle response is. Like when you do right, how close does it follow your stick move?
Right.
So it's terrible, but I think they could fix that. I don't know if it's, with air mode, I don't know if they could fix that or adjust the idle, but I don't feel confident flying proximity with it just because of that. It doesn't do exactly what I want it to do. And also I noticed this past weekend when I was flying the crap out of it, if I shift it over to low latency mode, it flies much better. It flies like it's more connected than it does. I think the latency on the HD is higher than what they're advertising because it feels a little laggy to me.
So really that would be a cool thing to try is just a comparison of low latency versus HD.
Oh, yeah. I noticed that you'll notice it better if you go from low latency to high. You'll notice it right away how much it'll just feel much better. Like it feels like you'll see it just turns and stuff much faster.
Okay.
So how's the vision change when you go to low latency? Is it like
I don't notice anything. So this is what I don't understand what they're doing with this, because on the originals, if you went from low latency to HD, that purely affected the DVR on the goggles. Like if you had the air mode on, it still recorded in 1080p on the air unit, whether you're in HD or low latency. It just improved the view in the goggles. But if you're doing proximity or doing any kind of freestyle, you want that low latency. You don't really care about the DVR footage.
Yeah,
but on this, why it drops down to 1080p on the drone when you go to low latency, I don't know why they're doing that.
Yeah, because you think it's it's not like it has to transmit. It's but maybe it does something different with the way it processes the video, and it can only handle so much. Yeah. Total aside, Ethan, you mentioned about building that KISS. I just saw that Bardwell put out a new build video for a digital 4-inch, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about actually giving that a shot. I think it's get FPV kit, right?
Gotcha.
Anyway, I've built an analog. It's been a long time, and I know like Chris Hope built the you built the Tyro, right? The Tyro 119. But I'm kind of like, I don't really want to build an analog at this point because I don't see myself flying much analog anymore. So I think building a digital would be fun. Is that the Tyro?
That's the Tyro, and I'm like you. I wish I'd waited 6 months.
Hey, but you know what? You got one under your belt, right? I mean,
I built it, and I understand it. So
building the next one will be easier, probably. So yeah. No, I know, but same here. It's like the Tyro. It looked like a cool option until I realized I hate flying analog now.
Digital is the way.
You know, that last summer, because I've been flying digital for a while now. Last summer, just joking around with Cuppi and Nemo, I was like, I'm going to build an analog quad just with extra parts I got, because I still have my Fat Sharks and whatnot, and I'm going to fly it just to refresh my memory about what it's like, And I shit you not, I took off and I'm like, I can't fly this. I cannot fly
see anymore. You can't see.
I was like, I don't know how I even learned on this. This is terrible.
Yeah. You get spoiled. I mean, it's like we didn't know what we were missing, and now we do, and it's like Chris Waters, Sunrise Water Media. He's built a couple and has a couple of analog quads that he's brought out to our group meetups, and I've flown his a little bit, and I mean, I was just having trouble. He was flying one of the Pro Hawks, the Emax, I think it's called Pro Hawk, which is their biggest one, and it's a great little quad, but just watching the analog signal, I was trying to go through these little chain link fence things, and I could barely see it. I was like, oh man, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Nemo would love that statement.
Oh,
he would.
Analog for life.
I go on with Cuppi and Nemo about like Mr. Steele's videos, and his he shows his DVR and all that stuff. I was like, if I ever built a quad and I had analog that looked as good as his does, I may have stuck with analog, but I've all had nothing but problems with analog.
Same.
And so to that point, I cannot really say I've had the horrible experience that you guys have had with analog, but granted, I also started much longer ago, right? The first time I put analog on a quad was like back in 2015, and then I got my first FPV drone in 2016. So analog, I guess I'm just used to it. I'm just used to how it looks. I can honestly fly just fine with it. And I still do. I love this stuff. And if you want to do micros, you can't do it any other way. You have to do analog.
And it is, to your point, Ethan, like Doc Murdoch, I've flown his rig. I flew Jerry's rig, both analog. They both had everything dialed in with their antennas, with their transmitters, and they looked pretty good. It's for me, I've just been using stock stuff, just kind of as it comes, and it doesn't look as good. But it's just like, we all thought normal TV was great until HD came along, right? I mean, and now you look back at old resolution, 4:3 TV, and you're like, how did we ever watch that? We did. Right. It was fine.
Right.
It's what you're used to.
Yeah, I know. I personally had always had issues with noise in the video, or the camera wasn't exposed right. I had to get out the little BS joystick thing and plug it in.
Yeah.
I had always had problems with it and problems with noise. And then if say the channel, I would have to go into the OSD and find the right channel. And I was like, you know what? So when digital came out, and the very first time I put it together, and the very first time I tried it, I was like, I don't have to find my channels. It doesn't look noisy. I don't have to worry about the camera adjustment, or I could do it right from the goggles. So I was like, I'm never going back.
Yeah.
Chuck.
Yeah.
He's watching. He said I told him, and he turned me down. So you have to call out to him yourself.
He actually private messaged me and told me what's going on. So
okay. All right.
He's having a rough morning. So he's like, he's passing this time, but normally he'd be up for it. Yeah.
Hey, he just needs to take another shot and jump on.
We'll let him get back from vacation. We don't want his wife to get mad at him. We're all married to the same woman.
I tried to say that 20 minutes ago.
You're right.
Now all at once, it's a great idea.
It was a great idea, but he failed me so well.
You failed me. All right. Anyway.
You failed me. He'll make it up to me on 2K drones. He'll make it up to me in a couple of Saturdays.
All right, go for it. What else? What are we talking about?
What do you guys think about the image quality, the footage, the Rocksteady descending like coming out of this thing? Do you guys like it?
I noticed some double vision kind of stuff going on when I was recording in 4K 60. I don't know if you noticed that. Like, maybe back my footage, and there were trees, and they're kind of like the tree would go kind of like.
Yeah.
You know.
There's also kind of this weird halo effect that happens sometimes.
Like there's a smudge on the lens.
Yeah, but it's not. It's not. That was the Instant 360 Go, but no, I noticed I would fly low over a field and have a shadow, and that shadow would have this kind of halo around it a little bit. But and somebody commented on it in one of the videos. It was the speed video, the one where I was trying to see how fast I could fly the FPV, and you could really see it. You could really see that it was kind of near sunset, so it's kind of gold light. It looked really nice and everything, but the that shadow was weird. It had a glow. But I will say one thing that I absolutely love, and I know this has been on FPV for a while, the fact that you can, and this has been on camera drones for a long time, the fact that you can tilt the camera with the wheel on the DJI, awesome. That is really, really awesome, because my whole problem I was having with Wesley on the bike is I was trying to get the tilt of my camera right for both the FPV camera on the analog and on the newbie drone and on this one. And then I was trying to match that with the tilt of the GoPro or the Osmo. And he, it varied on how fast he was going. When he was just sitting there, I was looking up at the sky with the FPV because I had the tilt up too high, and then he would get going fast. And then then it would be okay. And so I tilted it down a little bit, and then he'd get going fast. And then I'm looking at the back wheel of his bike. If every FPV just had a little module where you could just, oh man, that would be. Oh yeah. I mean, that's got to be coming. I got to think that's going to be something that will be easy enough to do in the future.
Well, my biggest hope with this, because I think, for a first generation hybrid, I think it's pretty decent. The way I look at it, it's not really great at either one, at a camera drone or an FPV drone, but it does do both. So
it's like the Chevy Avalanche.
Right. Yes.
Interesting.
Chris Hope gets that joke.
I get that joke.
But I think, if they came out with a, I'm going to be setting up an iNav quad, and iNav can do all the like hover stuff that this can do. But I do like the fact that the battery management is normal. Like, I can't tell you how much I hate battery straps and balance leads hanging out and dealing with the chargers of LiPos. It drives me crazy. And
then also the fact that it's a smart battery, so it decharges. It goes to storage mode after 10 days or whatever. Yeah. Because I've got you guys can't. I don't know if I can turn this.
He froze. He can't. He asked the question. Apparently, he could not.
He froze.
Right.
He'll be back.
Oh,
he's back.
Here we go.
Did I
close the browser?
He froze. You're Dr. Freeze.
Wait. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
I was just saying that table is all my batteries from yesterday that I'm like, okay, am I going to fly next weekend? So I recharge? Do I put them into storage, or do I put half of them in storage and recharge? I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised we haven't seen that with LiPos for our FPV drones, because I can't tell you how many batteries I've destroyed by either running all the way down or leaving them fully charged for too long.
Yeah, me too.
I really like those ViFly, the store safe devices, where you just attach it to the battery, and then in just 8 hours it sits there and it sucks the life out of them. I had a couple batteries yesterday that I had to discharge for that.
It takes them down to storage level?
Yeah. Yep.
Really?
They're really cool. It's a really cool little device.
That's cool. I'll have to check that. Because I'm putting them all onto the charger, putting them in storage, and then pulling them off, and then it's first world problems, right? I have to manage my batteries.
Yeah, no, you know what?
Poor me.
We spend good money for these batteries though, and you really do need to take care of them, because if you leave them charged for a month, you are losing it. You're just losing. You're losing capacity. You're building resistance. It's the worst thing you can do.
Right. Oh yeah. There's a lot to like about this, but they definitely need to fix the camera. They definitely need the camera, I think, is is about the same as the Osmo Action, even though it's got better. This has got better specs on it, and the Rocksteady needs some. They need to work on the stabilization a little bit too.
They can do that with firmware though, and I have the Freewell filters. I got them early, and they definitely help with getting a nice, pretty flare when you're flying kind of towards the sun.
So
I didn't get that. It seriously looks smudgy on mine. I noticed it in like Billy Kyle's footage and a bunch of other guys' footage too, where almost it just had a really nasty flare instead of a pretty.
Can
flare.
they really fix that with firmware though?
Well, I mean, the bit rate that they have on there, it's got the same specs as the Mavic Air 2. So I mean, it should be at least image quality wise.
It's like 120 megabits per second, right?
Yeah. It should be better. And, and say like when we're talking about the transmission, the low latency, maybe it can't do 4K. Well, maybe put in 4K 30 and maybe we can get low latency, because I fly 5K 30 all the time with my GoPros. I personally think that looks better than 60.
So I think the problem with that was DJI said they didn't want to run 4K 30 because it'll make the pilot dizzier. There's something about that lower frame rate when you're wearing the goggles. It gets you.
But no, 4K 30 on the drone, the SD card.
But then we have that problem where they can't, for some reason, DJI can't have 4K 30 on the drone camera and then 4K.
Well, that's what he's saying is maybe they could compromise with, because they can't have 4K 60.
The air unit can do 4K 30. The air unit can do 1080p 30, and you're getting 120 720 in the goggles.
Have you checked that out yet, Kelly?
What is that thing?
That's the new Mav Mount Scout.
Oh, yeah. That looks like a little tripod, ball
That's what
mount.
I thought at first. That's cool.
That's really
They're
cool.
awesome, man.
How's it attached? Clamped on? It's like it's a molded clamp. There's a screw in the back. Well, bring it back in camera, Bill. You're kind of out of frame, but
no, wait a minute. I'm trying to loosen it.
I know you are.
So that I can actually see there's a screw back here. Screws it into place. So let me take that off.
It looks well made.
And then it actually, see, it slides in there. It actually fits to the form.
Wow, like a glove. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then, and I swear to you, and it holds the tablet perfectly.
That's cool.
Like I said, they just came out with it like 2 weeks ago. And the adapter and everything.
Who makes it?
Mav Mount.
Ooh, their stuff is really nice, but it is. But you pay for it, but it's really high quality.
Aircraft aluminum.
You guys ever heard of Small Rig? Small Rig.
Yes.
They make a lot of accessories for cameras. I'm surprised Small Rig doesn't make drone stuff yet, because they make it for just about everything else. But yeah, Ethan, if you know it, it's also aircraft aluminum, really well made, pretty expensive, but. Like I have a couple of monitors, like field monitors, and I've got a frame, Small Rig frame, and the things they do with it is they not only make it protected, but they also put a whole there you go. They put a lot more connectors. Yep.
Well, this is an awesome unit. Like I said, it's made out of airplane aluminum. It's got a super cool ball in it.
Aircraft aluminium.
So it was sent to me, and I really like it. So anyway, let me get y'all keep talking. I'll get the link for it.
Yeah, I hope that airplane that they took it from still flies okay.
That was an extra.
That's the way they advertise it. Is aircraft.
Maybe they should have made this out of aircraft aluminum, and they wouldn't be having the problems they're having.
I'm waiting for somebody to make a replacement frame for this thing, so when you wreck it, you can just transfer all the guts, all the brains, and everything.
Did you guys see the arm braces? I saw a flight path. Yeah. I don't think I'd ever put those on. Honestly, they look like they would just be a lot of weight. But I saw.
It's an extra 40 grams of weight, isn't it? I think.
Yeah,
they're going to transfer something like that.
But if you hit something in the front, now you're going to transfer that load to the back arm. You're going to bring two arms instead of one.
Right.
I mean,
they should have made it diagonal. They should have made it diagonal to these screws right here.
Is it aftermarket? It's an aftermarket thing, right?
No,
it's DJI
accessory.
Have you guys played with
the fly was a little diagonal too, so it's not like straight. It's just a little more diagonal.
Oh yeah.
Have you guys played with this yet?
Oh God.
I dabbled once. I haven't really gotten into it.
I didn't get it.
Dabbled once.
It's really I mean honestly it's a very cool piece of tech because you do this and the drone yaws left, you do this, it yaws right, and then you kind of aim it where you want it to go and pull the trigger. I don't see the practical application for it, but it's a pretty amazing, I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember. I'm sure Bill and Chris might be, but when the Wii came out, the Nintendo Wii, did you guys
a motion controller? Yeah, I had one for Sony PS3.
We had some neighbors that came over and brought the Wii right when it came out, and I just remember being blown away by that. And this kind of gave me that same feeling with the tech. I was just like, whoa, this thing is really, really cool. But how often am I going to fly with it? Never.
Yeah,
it's kind of like a course. It's kind of a course controller. It's not. You don't get those fine movements like you'll get with the joystick. So
speaking of the Wii, actually, like that is our family game night. We'll get the Wii out because my kids were really little when we got it, and they kind of grew up playing it. Now they my son plays Fortnite on his computer, and my daughter doesn't care about video games. But we'll get the Wii out and play it, and it is still a hoot. It is still all those games, even just the really basic ones like tennis, are still a blast.
Well, I'll be honest with you. When I first saw it, I thought somebody had just jerked an FT Aviator off the base.
Poor FT Aviator. It got so much grief.
There were just too many cables hanging off of it. That's all. It was just too clunky.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good idea, but just the barrier to, interface with DJI stuff was its downfall.
Yeah. No, it was a version 1 kind of thing. And I think they were trying to, I got to talk to Scott Parazinski before Ken just totally pissed him off and, broke ties.
Oh my God. He just body slammed him. I remember the review.
But well, it's funny because actually he was speaking at Spin Up that year. And I had this long call with him and his PR person about how I couldn't let Ken be a dick to him. That was my job. Okay. Got it.
Well, no, he's been on, we've had him on here before too.
Scott,
yeah. He's super nice.
He's a smart dude, and the applications for that thing, I think drones were one thing, but they were talking about using it for robotics, for like surgery, robotic surgery. Like, I don't think drones were their end game really. So,
right. He told everybody that night he was on the show, and to be honest with you, I don't think that Ken, because Ken. Okay, I love Ken to death. Don't get me wrong. Somebody can give me shit about this later on.
Here we go.
But Ken tends to pick out his favorite products, and right off the bat if he likes it or not. And if he don't like it, he will find a way to trash it.
Yeah. Fair.
Well, he's kind of flippity flopped on the FPV drone a little bit.
Well, so does Ken Dono. When you're trying to get a flash in the big eye of DJI. You might turn your, hey, DJI wasn't real happy with that video you made. Maybe you should say something a little nice, and you might get the next drone. Oh, okay. And all it takes is a little email here and there, a little spice on it, from DJI. Hey, I represent DJI. Would you like to test our next drone? Why don't you fix that video you just came out with? Oh, I love your drone. Did you see my video? I love your drone.
The words of the host do not express the views of everyone on the panel.
That's actually not how it works, Bill.
Exactly.
Cool. Okay.
I can tell you.
But you can put that graphic up though. You can put that graphic up though that I have sitting, because that is my opinion of this controller. So you can go ahead and put that up if you want.
Well, this one. Okay.
My screen share. There you go.
Yes.
That's my opinion of that controller.
Yeah.
Mr. Steve.
That's awesome.
Actually, that came up because there was a guy in one of the FPV groups who put up his crashed FPV quad, and he had the braces on, and he goes, I did this, it's broken, and I even have the braces, roast me. And so someone posted that, and he was like, that's exactly how I broke it. Literally, that's exactly how I broke it. I had the wand, and I was in sport mode.
Okay.
That wand is for normal mode. I think really they got to tell you just use it in normal, because it's not, it's like I said before, it's not fine. Like with the actual remote control, you have fine control. This thing is kind of.
Well, I'm kind of surprised that they allow sport mode for it. It seems like you can really get into trouble with it.
Yeah, I don't think it's responsive enough.
I disagree. In my opinion, if you try to fly at line of sight, it is very difficult, and in sport would be almost impossible line of sight. But as soon as you put the goggles on, actually, I found it really easy to use with the goggles on. Like it made sense to me with the goggles. And the you said the fine motor. Have you done it, Chuck? Have you flown it?
Yeah, but only once. I haven't given it a fair shake yet.
It really, I mean, there's a lot of subtlety you can add to it. I'm not defending it because I don't see the purpose for it, but don't try to fly it line of sight. I tried to do it line of sight, got disoriented, and then I made the mistake of setting the thing down. And as soon as you set it down, the yaw just starts going crazy because the gyroscopes in there think it's wanting you to go turn left. So.
Oh, so definitely the lanyard's for a reason. You got to keep it.
Yeah, you got to keep it vertical. It almost needs like a little stand or something. But no, I mean, if you try to fly it line of sight, you're going to crash. I don't know if that's what that other guy was doing, but
I had the goggles on, but I need
one
to give
other thing.
Shake,
how were you rotating like this, or were you rotating? You know, there's like. The first time I did it, I was trying to do it like this. I was like twisting my wrist.
Yeah, and I was trying to, like Billy Kyle discovered, like you tip it kind of.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, I was kind of busting balls earlier, but that's kind of like why everybody changes you talk about people being wishy-washy. It's just like anything. Once you get the handle of the drone, you're going to do more stuff with it. You're going to understand more its capabilities and stuff. You know, I was just making a joke to begin with because that's, but the more you get comfortable with it, the more you're going to do. Go ahead.
I would agree with Kelly that, like trying to do something like that line of sight's got to be really tough because like Snaptane, my only experience with something like this is Snaptane sent me this kind of like, I don't know if you ever heard of Snaptane.
I remember that. No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
This glove controlled drone. It was like a blue kind of whoop. It had I think you did a review on it too.
I watched a couple, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it was really crazy, but it worked. It actually worked pretty well. Like I didn't think it would work as well as they advertise it to be, and that was like a cheap $30-$40 toy. So I mean, I could see this thing working, but you definitely have to be careful with it.
Snaptane.
Snaptane. I don't even know how to say the name right.
Yeah,
they got quiet.
I made fun of because I had a drone of theirs and I kept saying Snaptane. There's that cat.
I heard it.
Very cool.
I heard it.
Well, we've all been running pretty good. This has been a really good and informative night, but we've already been on for right at 2 hours.
2 hours. Wow.
I've got laundry I've got to do, and my wife has already said a couple of things.
Wow, you're running away from the show and more time with the great Mr. Shores to do laundry?
Did you miss the first part of the show?
It's an anniversary present.
Yeah, where I said yesterday.
Yeah. Mr. Shores would recommend probably go get that done.
Yeah, and plus there's a new DJI drone on the horizon and another one beyond that. So
that's true.
And
happy life.
I did the noble thing. I passed on the FPV drone, so I've got my cookies in the right jar right now.
There you go.
So hey. So I'm
you
gonna
might be able to buy a broken one real cheap too.
They're already showing up on that Facebook Marketplace. I showed one earlier. Sure. But that's all they had to see was that next DJI drone, and I knew they were going to go.
I thought they were going to sell. They have it listed. You can buy just a drone all by itself for like
$700 you can. There's already
you can get them.
B&H has it. It's a pre-order, yes, but it's like $759, I think. So I'm going to throw it around the room. First off, I'm going to say thank you very much to our illustrious guest, Mr. Kelly Shore, this evening, and I will let him say his good evenings to everyone to start it off. And please, once you're done, Mr. Shores, pass it to someone else.
Yes, I just want to say thank you to everyone who watched. Thanks to you guys for hanging out, and this was a lot of fun. And I will say good night. Let's all, again, in the honor of Mr. Rick Halber, let's all love each other just a little bit more. We already love each other a lot. But let's love each other a little bit more, and let the haters be haters. And so I'll pass it off to Mr. Hope with that.
Thank you, Kelly. Yeah, y'all remember old Rick. He's a dadgum good one for sure. And you guys driving and flying to Florida today, tomorrow, and y'all have a good weekend. And
that's gonna be awesome.
Do some live streams and send plenty of pictures.
I send
it off Mr. Cuppi.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you, Kelly. I honestly couldn't say it better. You guys just put it just the right way. And I never got to meet Rick, but what I can say is he was just the nicest dude. He always supported everybody, and we'll all miss him. That's for sure. But Hey, Kelly, I'm really glad you got to. Oh God, I said your name wrong. Look at that. You told me how to say it right, and then I went and said it wrong.
Calais, yeah.
Calais, Mr. Shores, Calais. It was really great that you came on. We really appreciate that. Oh my God. My cat's trying to bite. My cat's trying to bite.
Drew blood.
I hope we can do this again sometime.
Yeah,
but,
for
you know,
sure.
thanks for coming on. Oh, wow. I think something's going on in my leg. I'm going to throw this over to somebody before something crazy happens here. Ethan. Throwing it to Ethan.
Thanks, John. Good to see everybody tonight. Kelly is great. Always a pleasure hanging out with you.
Yeah, thank you.
And glad to see everybody in the chat. It's been 2 weeks, I think. So, but anyway, everybody going down to Florida, have a great time. Have a great weekend.
Yes.
Fly safe. And with that, I will throw it over to Chuck.
Hey, John, I think, Rick might be messing with your lights. That's what spirits do.
That's really
Probably
weird.
just letting us know that he's okay. And I never
That's
got
good.
to meet him. I never got to meet Rick either. But everybody who's talked about him, who's met him, said he's such an awesome dude. And I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to meet him. But maybe someday we'll all meet again. Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. This was a good time. I hope everybody got a kick out of our debates or discussions on the FPV drones.
You're
DJI and
family
real
now,
ones.
Chuck.
Nice.
You're family now. You're a fixture. So
That's right.
With that being said, we're very grateful to have each and every one of you here every week. And remember, just like Kelly said, let's love each other more. Let's try to keep that WWRD in our hearts. What would Rick do? Just remember that. What would Rick do? WWRD.
Does everybody have that email address for Matt to send the 10-second clip, or is that too late to do now?
No, I got it today. I'm going to send it tomorrow.
I'm going to send mine tomorrow as well.
All right. Thank you very much, gentlemen. And we're going to have like a wild, because we got this extra week next week. We're not going to have Support Your Local Drone Channel next week. Next week, we're going to call it some kind of like rumors and drone bullshit, something like that. And we'll just talk about anything and everything we can to come up with for drones. And of course, we got a new drone coming out, so we can speculate about it. And so we want everybody to please join us next week. See you later. Live long and prosper. Oh, this way.
Peace out.